Yo, what's good? What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. It's Neff, and today you're going to be watching my HAVOC Lihuvim guide. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys tips on how to deal with each mechanic, what the end goal is, for the boss, and how to use your CDs, how you can maximize your damage while dealing with each mechanic. Then I'm also going to give you guys some resources, some websites where you can take a look at what other people are doing. You can easily see their CD timings and what gear they're using and everything like that, and I'll kind of show you guys how to use that. So I do want to make a series like this for mythic bosses and kind of help you guys out, but we are progging Anduin right now and we are extending, and I don't have any footage of the first 5 bosses. I think it is. I don't have any recordings of Vigilant Guardian to Lihuvim. I have Lihuvim, but I don't have the rest. But I do have Lorrgs, and I'm going to do Lorrgs next. So be on the lookout for that. And I know it's been a little bit since I made a video. It's been a little bit over 2 weeks, but I have been sick like the past week, which has really sucked. And to be honest, WoW is kind of content dry right now. I don't really know what to make. I know some people said they wanted something like this. They wanted some, key reviews. Maybe people send in VODs and I check out their keys and see what they're doing, and maybe coach them along the way and help them out, which I am interested in that. So if you do want to send me a key that I can review on stream or in a video, you can send that over to my Discord. You can join my Discord and just DM it to me directly, and maybe I'll do raid bosses too. So if you want to send me some raid footage, go ahead and send it to me. I'm down for whatever. If you have any recommendations for content or anything you want to see, just make sure to leave it in the comments and I'll check it out and I'll see what I can do. But before we start the video, I do want to shout out my Discord. We're almost at 700 members now. Pretty wild to think about that. I just started this Discord a couple months ago. There's a lot of DH players in there, so if that's something you're interested in, there's a link to it in the description. And it's also where you can get my UI. My UI is only available for Twitch subs. So I do put a lot of time into my UI to make it, pixel perfect for me, and a lot of people like it. So if you're interested in that, there's a link to my Twitch in the description. To actually get my UI, you need to link your Discord account with your Twitch account through Discord, and you'll get roles in my Discord server automatically, and that'll allow you to access sub-only channels, the links to all my UI stuff. And one more thing, only about 15% of people that watch these videos are actually subbed. So if you're not subbed and you're watching this video or you watch my other videos, really appreciate it if you hit that button. It really helps me grow. It's free, and while you're here, if you like the video and you like my other videos, why not? So to start things off, we're just going to be taking a look at talents, Soulbinds, and everything like that. And we're going to be looking at subcreation.net. If you don't know what this is, it's kind of like Warcraft logs. They take data from Warcraft logs and like Raider.io and stuff. They give you a really detailed breakdown of what gear people are using from like the top 100 parses or the top 100 keys and everything like that. I highly recommend this website. If you want to check it out, there's a link in the description. So I'll show you how to use it for raid right now. So we're on the home page here. We'll click Sepulchre, the first ones. On the top here, you can see which difficulty you want to choose, Mythic or Heroic, and we're going to look at Lihuvim right here. And then melee tier list shows what melee specs are good for this boss, and range specs are over here, obviously. Then you got tank and healer and so on. So we're going to click Demon Hunter, and as you can see here, everyone is playing Venthyr. Shows the talent builds, the max DPS achieved with these talents, and then you can scroll down, look at the legendaries people are using. Everyone's using Collective Anguish, Soulbinds and abilities, and then conduits, conduit builds, gems. That's not really important, but it is helpful. Then it shows what tier items people are using, and you can look at enchants. All the enchants here shows the weapons that people are using, and you can look at individual gear pieces as well. So this website is really helpful in determining, kind of a BIS list. You can kind of compare your character to what most of the top 100 people are playing. And also at the top here, there's like a tab section where you can just jump to whatever thing you want to look at. So if we just want to look at trinkets, see what people are using, you just click the trinkets up here and it'll take us to the trinkets. 75% of people are using File with the Cache of Acquired Treasures, which is 100% correct. The Cache of Acquired Treasures is insane for this boss. It lines up really, really well. So to start things off, we're going to be looking at Soulbind and conduits. So 98% of people are playing Nausea, which is what I went with. So I ended up using Increased Scrutiny, but I don't recommend that. I used it because it really helped smooth out the Sinful Brand uptime, and it allowed you to use Sinful Brand on maybe a schematic or a defense matrix, and it wouldn't put your Sinful Brand on like a 45-second cooldown. But this late into the tier, you know, you should be pretty geared. Your rage should be pretty geared. You don't really need the increased, you know, the little bit of increased ad damage on the schematics or the defense matrix. So you should definitely be good to take the Dauntless Duelist, which is what, you know, most people are playing now. So I do recommend this build here, which would be Nausea with Growing Inferno and Relentless Onslaught with the Dauntless Duelist Soulbind trait for the increased boss damage. I think it's 3%. Next, we'll take a look at talents, and that's going to be Blind Fury, Insatiable Hunger, Unbound Chaos, Cycle of Hatred, and Demonic. That is what everyone is playing. So basically, it's your basic I-beam build. So next, we're going to be taking a look at the CD usages and how you should be using your CDs. So for this, we're going to take a look at a website called Lorrgs.io. That's this here. So you can see on the homepage here, this website looks at the current top 50 logs for every spec and visualizes relevant spells on an encounter time. This is really good. This allows you to look at CD timings from multiple logs, you know, without having to go to Warcraft logs and look by every log one by one. The top here, we'll look at top parses by spec. We'll look at melee, go to HAVOC Demon Hunter. And then at the top right here, you can choose which boss you want to look at. So we want to look at Lihuvim. You can also change the difficulty. We want to look at Mythic. So as you can see here, everyone's CD timings are almost the same. It changes a little bit once it gets past that 6-minute mark. So I know it looks a little overwhelming at first here. One easy thing to do is to, you know, go to the boss and turn off all the abilities that you don't want to see. And it kind of clears things up to where you can just see our CD usages, right? And you can also add stuff like potions here. You can click Potion of Spectral Agility and see where people are potting at. And then you can also look and see where people are using their trinkets. And with the Cache of Acquired Treasures, 99% of the time you're going to be using it with your meta because it's about the same CD. About 3:20 is when all the ads come out. So it might be a little laggy in my game, but you know, that's just how it is. There's like, you know, 30 different ads out and, you know, a lot is going on. So hopefully you have a Blood DK. They'll mass grip all of the ads together. And then you can simple brand one. I recommend simple branding the defense matrix and then using I-beam to extend that. And then once everything is grouped up, you can pop meta on everything around you. So I had 18 sinful brands out there, as you can see by the weak aura tracker. So I actually didn't have the Cache of Acquired Treasures trinket in this kill. I recently got mine, I think last week. I couldn't pop that here, but this is where you would want to pop your Cache of Acquired Treasures trinket. And obviously in AoE, that thing does insane damage. So you would want to use that here with your meta. And if we kind of compare what Lorrgs looks like to my in-game, 3:24, that's about when all the ads got grouped together. Then if we go look at Lorrgs, about 3:20 is where people are using their CDs. So this thing is very accurate. So the next meta usage, people are using it about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Just depends on your Fury spent and your CD timings. But for the general, you know, generally you're gonna have the same timings as most of these people on here, you know, as long as you're keeping good uptime. So looking here, about 6:30, I get my meta back up. I could have meta here, but I didn't. I wanted to save it for Lust. If you are progging this boss, you can do that, especially now. If you are progging it now, you most likely have more gear and you're gonna kill the boss a little bit faster with everyone holding CDs for Lust. So at 6:30, I could have meta, but I didn't. I decided to save it for Lust. If you are progging this boss, you know, you're probably going to have around a 9-minute kill time, depending on your gear, depending on how your raid DPS is. So if you do end up having like a 9-minute kill time, if you can tell, I would probably send meta here so you can get another use towards the end of the fight. And I think 2 metas is a lot more valuable than 1 meta in Lust. I'm not really sure the numbers behind it, but looking at the logs and seeing what people are doing with 9-minute kill times, it looks like, you know, the people that are getting an extra meta are doing more damage than the people that are saving it for Lust. So if you have this on farm, which you probably shouldn't be watching this video, I have no idea why you're watching this video. If you have this on farm, you should probably hold meta for Lust. And if you are proccing this, you should probably send meta at 6:30 and then Like I said, depending on your kill timing, you'll get another meta at 9 minutes. So I really recommend this website. It does only show the top 50 parses, so there are going to be people using strategies that your guild might not be using during prog, because most of these people have this boss on farm, and they are going to be using, you know, some parse horse strats. So keep that in mind. It's not always going to be the best for prog, but it will give you a general idea of the best uses for your CDs. So next, I'm going to give you some tips on how to deal with some mechanics on this boss and what you should do to maximize your uptime and, you know, keep your damage rolling. The first mechanic that you'll deal with in this boss is the moats. It's just like the heroic mechanic, except in Mythic, every single person except the tanks will get a moat. And as you can see here on the top of my screen, you can see the range. They just take their moats out, put them off to the side, and you don't really have to deal with them at all. But the melee, you want to stack your moats up as close as you possibly can in like a Venn diagram formation kind of. So ideally, before this mechanic comes out, you're going to want to I-beam to extend your Sinful Brand while you have that downtime of taking your moat out, and, you know, while you're moving away from the boss. And there is one trick with DH with the moats. You have to time it pretty good though, but once you drop your moat, there is a grace period where you can just go through the moat with your Fel Rush. So as you can see here, I dropped my moat and I just Fel Rush right through another moat, and it doesn't pop it, and my moat is still in place. It is a little tricky to time, but it is doable. But doing this, you know, it really keeps your uptime up on the boss. And, you know, you don't have to squeeze your way through close moats or walk around the moats if there isn't enough space. You can just Fel Rush as soon as your moat drops and you can go straight back to the boss. So looking at my screen here, there is another mechanic that will cause you to have a little bit of downtime. This mechanic's called Cosmic Shift, and everyone will get a certain debuff. And if you're red, I think you get pushed out, and if you're blue, you get pulled to the boss. So I got pulled here, I didn't get knocked, but as you can see here, some people, you know, the melee will get chosen with red and they will get knocked away from the boss. So obviously, if you have your Sinful Brand up, you want to get your I-beam before this goes out. Keep that brand rolling while you have downtime on the boss. There's not a lot of mechanics that you have to deal with on this boss. It's a pretty straightforward boss. It's very scripted, as are like a lot of other bosses in this raid. But if there's more you want to know about the boss, be sure to leave a comment and I'll try to get to it as fast as I can. But if you join my Discord and ask me something there, I'll probably get back to you a lot faster. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, just, you know, leave them in the comment section below. Yeah, until next time, peace.